There we go.
Come on.
Yeah. All right. Oh, baby. That's cool. Really nice. Ah. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Come here, dude.
Come here, little dude. Yeah, good
Hey, Musky! Woo. That's pretty cool, man. I love catching those things. It never gets old. It just powdered it. All right, so musky fishing has a ton of different presentations in it. Right now we're fishing weeds with, it's been primarily spinners, whether an inline spinner like a bucktail or with a topwater. And I'm gonna show you some of the different leaders that we use for different presentations in musky fishing, because believe it or not, leaders can make a big difference in how your baits perform. I never get sick of catching these things. They're pretty in here, aren't they? Canadian leopard. I love those things. It's dark water, they get real pale. So we're just gonna go quick, back in the lake she goes. And all right, so that one happened to come on a spinner. Now, this is a rod that I'm using for throwing both inline bucktails like this and a spinner bait. And if you look at this leader, it's just a tiny little chunk of wire here. This is actually just a 6-inch piece of wire. This is 124-pound single strand wire. And you'll notice that I have a swivel on here, but it's not how a lot of folks have it typically, where you tie the swivel to your main line. I actually put the swivel as close to the bait as I can, and then the wire just in front there. And what that ends up doing is you'll see this leader starts really vibrating. So you're getting a lot more vibration out of the bait as opposed to having the swivel up ahead. And one last thing I'll say with spinner fishing here too, I don't know if you can see this or not, but there's a little knot in there, and that's done on purpose. So in this dark water or night fishing, I put this knot in here. I'll wrap it like 5 or 6 times, and then as I get close in this dark water, I'll feel this knot hit my rod tip, and that's gonna allow me to know that the bait is really close to the boat. So I'll grab another set of leaders here real quick. I'll put this one down. So that piece of wire, 124 single strand wire with a 110-pound ball bearing swivel to a split ring, is my go-to for any style of spinner fishing. Sticking with the single strand wire, for a lot of jerkbait fishing, minnow bait fishing, that type of thing. I'm sticking with the same thing, but in this case I'm going with 174-pound straight wire, so it's a little bit heavier. It doesn't kink quite as easily. It's got a little bit more weight to it to keep the bait down, but in this case then, I'm just going right to a solid welded ring. If you're not musky fishing tons and tons, a snap is really all you need, but I've had problems with snaps, so right now I'm living a split ring life. So I just use split rings, and this welded ring will help you get there. So for the jerkbait fishing, same thing, solid wire. And then when it comes to fishing rubber baits, or yeah, pretty much just rubber baits, I like running basically shark cable. So a lot of guys like fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon's great, but I like using this stuff here. This is just 90-pound. It's just a braided wire that's crimped, so I make most all my leaders. Swivels on top in this case. Same thing, the crimp goes to another welded ring. But the nice thing about this is when you're throwing rubber baits, if anybody's done it, a lot of times they'll tumble. And so when they're tumbling, if you're fishing a solid wire leader, that leader of course is gonna get kinked and it's gonna get messed up. So you're gonna wanna fish something, whether it's fluorocarbon or cable. I just prefer the cable to the fluorocarbon. That's a personal preference. Fluorocarbon's obviously great, but that's the setup that I've got for rubber. And then to keep all of these baits, I've got this sweet little Wreck and Rack makes this thing right here. It's just a sweet little leader tube. So I've got my jerkbait leaders here. I keep my bucktail leaders here. I've got my cable leaders here, and then I've got one that's open, so if I've got messed up leaders that you know, get kinked or whatever, I'll throw those in here so I can cut them apart and reuse the components. So that's a setup that I have on board for musky fishing anywhere you're at.